welcome to SoMuchGame. I'm your host, Nai, and I'm here with my lovely cast as always. And we're playing some more Winter in Aris. This is our second session. I hope you saw the first. It's okay if you didn't, because we're going to have a little rundown. But first, we shall introduce the cast and characters, and we'll start with Audun.
Hello and good evening, especially to the small people in the audience.
Yes, thank you.
Do not repeat some of the language you will hear, especially the religious stuff. Just avoid that.
Yeah.
Controversially, I will be playing Ignatius Fireborn Lightbringer, the Tiefling Cleric, because I like that, who is a fine, upstanding member of society and likes to set people on the right path to redemption.
Next, we have Lewis.
Hello, I'm Lewis, and I'm playing Aris, a former Aris noble who joined the revolution and ended up an emigre, and has now come back in the hopes of being re-allowed into society. And Aris is a Furbolg fighter.
Leon.
Hello, I'm playing Renard Arvensis, a gnomish rogue. Is he a gnome? He's gnomish. I'm like a folk hero, and in the Revolution of Battles, shenanigans and fun games, selling forged paintings to people.
And finally, Viri.
Yeah. I play Avril Hunt. I'm a half-orc librarian first, wizard second, and I love books.
Yes, the best
Oh,
class.
tragic backstory?
Perhaps.
No. We'll get into the tragic backstories in this session. So, who wants to give me a rundown? We'll go with Leon, because he's so good at taking notes. He's very good, the best player ever.
So we were in the town of Pink. It was market day. Lots of hustle and bustle going on. Two dregs, these sort of low-life mercenaries, were coming through the market. We're all kind of very wary of them, but the two halflings near Ignatius that were very agitated by seeing them. Ignatius got very kindly, I wouldn't say bravely, he was just a very kind person, helped them get away because he could see they wanted to get out of there pretty quickly. The dregs kind of went to go for them, and Evelius then got in their way and baffled them with lots of administration. And Avril also then put a lot of policy stuff their way about how they should be doing what they should be doing. And we managed to trick them to distract them to get away. We then went round to the temple because we decided we want to find out a bit more about why these dregs are in town and what they're up to, and discovered that actually they seem to be searching for an amulet, and they're working for a dodgy noble called Noble Penta.
Penta.
The other page.
It's okay. Yes, thank you for that excellent rundown. So, we will open with the four of you just outside the town hall. And so going forward, because I presume you want to find the halfling twins, I shall give you your contacts because you are established people in this area, and the four of you do know individuals who would potentially help you in this situation. So first up is Ignatius. Your contact is the wise one, an elderly figure who has attained the rank, if you will, of the wise person, the wise one, because they're old, and old people must know lots of things because they've been around long. They are a spiritual leader, as we talked about. Faith is a little bit different here than it is with most other worlds, and it's somewhat different to yours. And you being somewhat of a minority in terms of your belief in Solas, kind of means you have a rapport with them. And obviously, as a representative for the whole town and to a greater extent, kind of the area of Druss, would like people not to be hurt or upset. So, is likely to have heard some things. Next, we have Evelios's, which is an alchemist who is an emerge such as yourself, a bit older than you, left actually just before the revolution kicked off, was kicked out for having some radical ideas in the field of alchemy and had some proponents and things that upset people, and they were just like, no, get out of here with your crazy ideas. So he has been living here for a while. His name is Stenson. It just goes by Stenson. He has quite a superfluous last name, but obviously we'd be here forever if we had to go through all the things that he once was. Perhaps is unlikely to know what's going on with the dregs, but a smart guy might know some things. Then we have Reynard. Reynard, you know the tavern owner by the name of Elf. Not Elf. They're not an elf, they're actually a kobold. But they get that confused when people are like, oh, you should meet Elf. And they're like, oh, wait, no, you're a kobold. It's spelled Aleph. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who knows? I wrote it, so you'd hope I know how to pronounce it. They are, to most of the community, well, almost everyone, a upstanding owner of the Harmony Hut, a tavern where many frequent. You know, though, that she's just a little bit dodgy. Not like full-blown criminal. But, she'll hold things. She's probably held some of your paintings while they're needing to be flogged off to Pain, the coastal village, and some other, criminally stuff, a little bit of bootlegging here and there, things like that. But she is going to know a lot about the area. And finally, I've been so good, and I've now just forgotten. Viri's character's name. Don't tell me. Avril, sorry. Just at the end, I'm like, and it's gone. Avril, you, unsurprisingly, know the librarian, who is very smart. His name is. Oh no, where's his name? No. Oh, that's it. I can't believe what it is. His name is Dexter. He is the head librarian, but the library isn't big enough that they have lots of staff, so he's the head librarian, but he's also the only, because, I mean, you're a librarian, but you're like...
Librarian in training.
Well, yeah. You're a librarian for fun. He's a librarian for a paycheck. So, yes. But again, a very intelligent man. For context on distances, for the wise person, you know that they are found often in the Harmony Hut because they like drinking. Who doesn't?
Very wise. Very
Exactly.
wise.
Yeah. There we go. And obviously, El, as the owner of the Harmony Hut, is going to be there. As for the alchemist and the librarian, the library and the alchemist residence are actually not too far from where you are now. They're just in different directions because this is the posh, if you will. This is again a town in the sticks, so posh is a bit of a stretch, but the nice-ish part of town.
The town has me. Clearly, it's
Exactly. Yeah. Should note, you can totally blow all of these contacts off and just go looking for the twins yourself. That is totally fine. This is just, to integrate you a bit more, make your characters feel more involved. Because, you're all cool people. You would know other cool people. So it's just to be expected. So, yeah, I will leave you guys to it. I'm just... Yeah.
so Ignatius.
Yeah.
Which did they go in?
The halflings.
Yeah.
Kind of attempt to orient the town halls there, markets there. They went down an alleyway with a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
So you find an alleyway with a wheelbarrow in it. That's probably them.
Or someone completely different.
Well, if you want to be difficult about it, yeah.
Yes. For context, the marketplace is south of where you are, and the alleyway they went is further south. So they were moving away from where you guys are currently.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, the dregs have cleared out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
They
should
rode
go
off
back, tell
in
the
the direction of the
marketeers they can reopen. Because they were all afeared that their affairs were going to be messed about with by people in bad hats. It's our responsibility to keep the community going and thriving.
It's safe to say that they have ruined the day, so to speak. It wasn't simply that they'd scared the marketers off. It's like, it was a bad show. They might come back tomorrow, but depends how bad the dregs are. For context, just because I don't think I specified, the dregs moved in direction to south. They went to the marketplace because that's the big riding alley. Alley? I don't know. Street, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Now you've been fancy.
You should know a bit more about the halflings beyond like wheelbarrow owners. What marketing roles will come to the pub afterwards with you. And see if anyone else is spotted.
It's a wise plan. It all involves ale.
Yeah.
Kill a drink. Do you think they have any sherry?
They might have some off wine.
Okay.
Off the shelf? No, off. Like, it's
Like
not
off.
it's soured. It has turned to vinegar.
It's got its own
it wasn't
usefulness.
wine to start with. It's off wine.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. You guys make your way over to the Harmony Hut.
The House of Harmoniousness,
Yes,
I like to call it.
Looks very peaceful. It's got a kind of retro thatched roof, kind of a bit out there. Yeah, no, it is retro in this world.
I was wondering whether it was like shaped like a hat.
It is actually. It's a very chill kind of thing. There's a bit of a smoke coming from the chimney. You get the kind of the nice smell of cooked meals and a little bit of music. Nothing too ostentatious, a little bit of flute, as you see. And Ignatius was correct. A lot of the marketeers have, both customers and sellers, have flocked to the tavern because, yeah, a lot of people need a stiff drink after what they had to put up with today. You also notice, however, that there is, I guess you could say, like a little signs, maybe not the right word, like a tabard kind of thing that's saying free drinks. So that has definitely attracted attention. Well, free drinks and foods, but big.
Well, that's not normal.
Is it free
No,
drinks
it's not normal.
and food, or is it
Yes,
free drinks?
they're
and
both
food?
Oh, I don't know. The players have worked out my weakness: grammar.
Your two weaknesses: grammar and romance.
And maths. So it's
and
the worst.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Your three weaknesses are
Exactly. So if I meet a romantic mathematician grammarist, then I'm screwed. Their words. Anyway, yes.
or they'll complete you. Could be one or the other.
That is very true. Very true indeed.
I feel like if you met someone on Tinder but they only talk to you in leet speak.
Oh, that would be nightmare.
The perfect storm.
Oh no. That's a horrible image.
You're gonna give 9 nightmares.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Sleep
No, I'm very happy with my relationship. I do not need leet speak.
Let's not traumatize the DM.
I know. So I presume you
Yes.
enter, yes? Okay.
Yes.
So upon going in, it is quite a large establishment, but it is the only tavern / inn, the classic fantasy combo. So it needs to accommodate for many people. Upon entering, there is the bar to the left-hand side, and then there is a large area that is slightly lower than the kind of bar area, which has many tables and chairs that a lot of people are sitting at. I don't know why that was struggling in my brain to say. You see a lot of familiar faces, as I said, many of the sellers and buyers. There is also farmers who have come off from their work, as it's just kind of turning to afternoon, and it is winter, so they've mostly just been kind of making sure that the fields are kept tidy and things like that, rather than the actual labor of farming itself. There is also, you notice, kind of an uncomfortable air, not like you enter and everyone stares at you kind of vibe, but definitely oh, it's not been the best day. There's grumbles, lots of grumbles from a group of people. You see Elf, at the bar, having a charming chat. He is a little bit of a gossip. And you also see the wait staff, who are a cobbled together kind of animated things. Alpha's never really explained what they are. Some of them are, like little barrels with legs, others are stools, but they serve drinks and food, which is all people really want.
Don't talk to the candlestick.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's the senior.
The bar.
Yes.
I'd like to go amongst the throng, and just check everyone's all right.
Okay. Do you want me to? Do you want to roll an insight check, kind of?
Oh, first roll of the evening.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
Oh, do I need real dice? I can get
Are we
real
all
dice.
rolling insight?
Oh, if you want to.
I got a hot
is-
23, so
Oh my goodness!
I'm a happy tiefling.
All right. You can all roll insight. This is just a vibe check, if you
I
will.
got 18.
18.
Do that whenever I
Wow.
go in a bar. Do a vibe check.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You go in a Scottish bar, you vibe check.
Yeah. Do my feet stick to the floor? Mm.
Do you say 13, 11, 12? Okay. So, well, Reynard and Avro are kind of like, I mean, you guys got the impression that I described, that kind of grumblies, everyone's not super comfortable. Oh my goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? Reynard, you're at the bar, sorry. So you will get to you talking to Alf in a minute. As for Evelios and Ignatius, you get a much bigger reading. So Evelios, you get the sense that people are angry. Like, we're ready to start hitting things angry. The grumbles are not just, oh, grumble, oh, these bloody dregs. There's a tinge to it. There's very much a tinge of, oh, grumble, but we know what revolution looks like, motherfuckers. We know how to hit.
Oh.
However, Ignatius, you get something a bit more. Yes, it's anger, but there's a weariness to it. Yes, the people are angry, and are willing to have violence, but you do get the sense of people that don't want to. That this is kind of something that they don't want to deal with. And you know for a fact, quite a few of the people here are, if you will, refugees from the violence that has been going on in Aris and the surrounding area. So while yes, they're ready to throw hands, they don't want to, and it's really something that is upsetting. Might be a strong word, but yeah. Okay.
I'd like to think I'm sort of just moving through the crowd, just touching base with the marketeers and the various people, and trying to kind of assuage some of that anger and
exactly. And you are a welcome
give them a sense of positivity.
Mm-hmm. You are a welcome sight here. You are a trustworthy member. I mean, you all are, but in this case, Ignatius is a trustworthy member of the community. So it's a pleasant. Many people are like, oh, yeah. So, sorry. Yes, you're at the bar, and Alf, I'm saying Alf, like, and I'm imagining Alf from the TV show, which is not what I wanted, but
You got the cats.
Nom
nom nom.
name generators. So, Alf, yes, hello. It's hi, Renard, and jumps off her stool, but she's small, and the bar was made for tall people, so brings the stool over, places it, clambers up, and is like, "It's good to see you, my friend. Hello. What brings you here today? Are you here for the Winterfest prices? Well, not prices.
Oh.
Celebration."
I was wondering
Kinda-
what the free food and drink was about.
Yes. It's a community service because with all the winter holidays everyone's celebrating coming up, we thought we'll do this, gives everyone some nice food. Unfortunately, with these dregs, I mean, I guess it came extra good, but so there's free bread and free cakes and free ale. Everything else is not free. Just going to emphasize that we've had some people come in asking for the expensive shit, and they've been saying, "No, that's not free. You still have to pay for that." Looking at Avelios over there, bet he'll be in asking for the sherry, and then that costs money. Not giving that for free.
Free.
Exactly.
Like,
But yes, it's all free. How are you, my friend? How are you? Got any? No?
that's all right. There's always something going on there.
Oh, of course.
Few fingers in pies, waiting to see what's happening.
Exactly.
Today's been a bit odd. The dregs there.
Oh yeah, bad for business. Bad for business. But
I always feel like wherever there's a dreg, there's opportunity. Maybe make some money.
True. That's true.
So if I could pick your brain, maybe.
Oh,
Your ears.
well. I wonder if you're willing to trade some gossip from me for me. I'll trade some with you. But as the host, I'll give you something. So some people have been seeing some strange occurrences with the dregs and who they're after. Apparently, they're after some halflings. Now, don't ask me how I came across this information, but I might have an idea where the halflings are staying, or perhaps if perhaps a way to find them, because they seem to be on people's list. Now, of course, the dregs themselves came in this morning and tell us what you want to know, or we'll attack you. But I gave them the old dead-eyed stare, the one I do when people get a bit drunk, yes. And suffice to say that sent them packing. But there's a way to find the halflings. They've kept it low, and I might not be able to get their exact location, but they have a telltale sign. But please tell me, if you could give me some gossip. Of course, it will stay with me to my grave. I won't share it around. Do you know anything about the dregs? Anything why they're here?
Yeah. I'll managed to overhear a few things and saying they're working for a naval pentam.
Oh, now that is quite a juicy bit of gossip right there. What could Pentam want with such a small little cam like ourselves? Very good, very good. Well, you've given me some gossip. I shall give you some return. You see, the halflings have a what was it called?
Wheelbarrow.
Well, yes, but it's the beast that drags the wheelbarrow. I'm not sure if you see. It's a very strange looking thing. It's from Anya. Very bizarre. It looks like a dome, but it's got little legs. Frank, and she kind of like Frank, and she shouts at one of the guys from the bar. He's like, "Yeah, what did you call the things? Oh, yeah, the Glyptodon. That's the word, a fancy word. Okay, it's like a big armadillo from Anya. Very strange thing, a big thing. Very slow, but very armored. So that's what's big armadillo. But that's what drags their cart in. But they didn't take it into town. But that's the noticeable sign because it leaves tracks. Now I haven't been sending anyone to look for them because that'd be super weird. But if you have a look around, where the animals come to and through on the street, you might find some tracks. That's all I can really say, though. They have kept their presence very hidden. You could go knocking around many of the establishments. As you know, there are plenty of houses that someone could be hiding within or up for rent, but I cannot say for certain, my friend.
Okay, that's good. Thanks, Al. I think
You're a good patron.
Like that.
Oh yes, very noticeable. All the children were gawking at us. Quite unfortunate since they wanted to keep a low profile, but needs must, I guess. If you at all have any other business to talk about, you of course come to me.
Only that fella over there, I'm going to point at Avelius. I want some sherry, so maybe if you just take a really crappy bottle of wine and take the label for you could
Oh, don't talk about my general business practice so openly. But yes, of course.
You're never going to be rich that way.
Yeah. Oh, yes. No, nobody got rich from being honest, as good mama used to say. Now, if you do excuse me, I can see somebody over there who needs to be inebriated. So I shall give you farewell. And she scuttles off, taking the stool with her. Is anyone else doing anything in the bar? What is Avro doing? I do wonder what a librarian does in the bar. Probably drinks. I imagine librarians get quite shit-faced.
Oh yeah, it gets wild, trust me. So I go up to the bartender and I go, "Barkeep, I'll have a hot chocolate, please. Extra marshmallows, because I'm feeling festive."
You know what? As I came over to you, I was expecting to give you alcohol, but for that, I will give it on the house because we have some hot chocolate and sitting there. Nobody asked for it. I can make you that, love. Don't worry, that's not a problem. And she goes
Excellent.
over.
I'm
Definitely starts
celebrating,
rooting
you know?
around. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, you know that those
Really?
dregs
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
single-handedly scared them off.
Really? I mean, of course you have.
Yeah, told them to piss off, and you
Yeah.
can't see them anywhere, can you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally believe that 100%. You definitely look like someone who tells people to fuck off. Yeah, no, I gotcha. All right then. Yeah, well, I know who to call if I'm ever having any trouble. Anyone with like a 5 in insight can tell she's just like, yeah, no, totally. I believe you.
Yeah, and I'm just feeling really good about myself.
Yeah,
Just
of course. Yeah.
telling anyone who listen, like, I'm a hero, you know?
There's a guy like slumped over, like, oh, I was a hero. Sleeping back. But yes, well, she's busy making the hot chocolate with extra marshmallows, of course. Yeah, definitely. She's rooting around in like the bar. It's not a common thing that she has to make. Yeah. As for Evelios and Ignatius, are you guys still just kind of touching base with the community in that sense?
For however long that takes, I'm keeping an eye out for the wise one. See if they're also here doing good work.
You do see them. They are in kind of the back corner, nursing an ale, in standard robes. Wise members of the community don't really have a uniform per se, but they have kind of telltale signs. So they have the hood that goes over their face, covers most of it.
Yeah.
On a thing. You know that they're an elf, but like that's just
I work my way over.
Mm-hmm.
Not hurrying. Just need to make sure all members of the community feel that they've been heard.
Of course, yeah. Good job.
I'm doing the opposite of that. I'm looking through them again. Shouldn't let dregs come here and start the trouble. Like,
you do get some.
We can't let the nobles come in and ruin everything.
Yeah. Wait, what? There's a couple of like some of them don't know you that well, so they go, yeah. Wait, is that his real accent? Like, yeah. So yes, Ignatius, you make your way over to the wise person.
We shan't allow them to descend upon us in such.
Brothers and sisters, let us rise up from the gutter and strike down these vile nobles who have kept us underfoot for so long.
And by gutter, I mean a semi-good but not terribly great accommodation in the rich part of town. I mean, no, gutters, yes.
Really slumming it.
Yeah, really slumming it. Yeah, it's like at least 700,000 gold, which is nothing. Like it should be millions.
Pocket
change.
Pocket
change. It is one of the standard rooms or something where everyone else has to sleep, but mine just has tapestries all the way around that I've had
handmade
and paintings that are skew that I've recovered somewhere. In general, Evelios is just sort of playing to the crowd, trying to rile them up a bit against the dregs.
They're riling, but as I said, not unbeknownst to you, they're not that invested. The dregs would have to do something quite egregious for them to act, but you don't know this. You just know that they're angry. So, Ignatius, you make your way over to the wise person. They nod to you.
Can I grab a couple of tankards on my way?
Oh, of course, yeah. You'll have picked some up from a friendly face here and there at the table.
Off a friendly face.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They were doing this like the hey, and you mistook that as you're giving me your drink, thank you.
Thank you for the church.
Yeah, exactly. It's for the church, I guess, and he's terrified. Probably more of the latter than the former.
Wise one.
Ignatius.
What's the word?
The word is despondent.
It's a very long word.
Yes, it is. I quite like long words.
Have some ale. Your throat sounds croaky.
Oh, yes, it is. So, oh, yes, that's so much better. Right, yes. So, you wish to know how the people feel?
Well, on a general vibe check, they seem to be angry yet weary with the whole violence angle.
Yes.
I feel they need more uplifting.
Yes. The dregs are an unwelcome blemish on our community.
Indeed.
Do you know what brings them here?
They are here at the behest of a noble
Ugh.
who will not sully themselves by coming this far, but he has sent hench personages to do their dirty work.
Yes.
I had a chance to help two of our community, two halflings, who the dregs seem particularly interested in. But I think to help them further, I will need to find them again and proffer more active assistance. Would you be able to help?
I do not know where the halflings lie, but do you know why they are after the halflings?
I may have such information, but I fear sharing it widely would cause more harm than good.
Well, that is simply it. They came to me asking about something, an amulet.
Ah, yes, that was discussed.
Yes. I gave them what help I could, but it is a troubled thing that they have upon their hands. Cursed thing.
And what is this amulet? What trouble does it bring with it?
And you see that the wise person is kind of not that makes a little that's scheming. You can see that they are conflicted about telling you this. Not in a kind of I don't trust you, in a more kind of oh boy, I don't know if I should be kind of thrusting this onto someone else. But they kind of have a thought and well.
You can lay this weight upon my shoulders, wise one. I am not alone in aiding. We will carry the burden.
Understood. Yeah. I'll
make sure I'm in front of Ivelios, just wherever he happens to be.
Ivelios will try to get closer to you guys through all the throng and be like, I'm coming, don't worry. I'm just about to say hi. The amulet. Well, it is an object which tries to remove the hands of nature. Apologies, I'm so used to speaking in riddles and idioms, it's hard sometimes. I shall be more clear.
It's working very well for you. Not so well for me.
No, I understand, sorry. I have had these problems before. What it does is perhaps a truly evil act. As you know, the world is protected and nurtured by the spirits that inhabit it, those that we pray to.
Yes.
Many moons. No, I don't know why I'd say many moons. Many moons that didn't have it. Sorry, out of character. Many moons ago, a young noble, perhaps of the ancestry of the one now, I do not know, decided that nature should be under his thumb and created 4 amulets. I believe the one that the halflings have is the one that controls the season of winter. Perhaps to summon, perhaps to more likely drive away. To use such an item is a... And at this point you can actually see that she's they are visibly uncomfortable with talking about it further.
It would upset the balance of life itself.
Yes.
This is an
Yes.
unworthy and unnatural act.
Yes.
And you say there are 4 of these.
One for each of the seasons. As I'm not no, yes, you would know this. Some of our most powerful spirits are the 4 that govern the changing of the season. Winter is represented by the old one, the oldest of the 4.
Yes.
Yes.
As the year ages, passes into wisdom and whiteness and rest.
Yes. But
Then to return as the young in spring, full of life and opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I know these are not your customs and beliefs, but thank you for understanding them.
The cycle of life is part of the path. It is unwise to stray from it.
The halflings would not tell me how such an item came into their possession, but I can say safely that if the dregs get a hold of it, it may doom not just here, but all of Aris.
What would you recommend we do with it? Because we can keep it away from the dregs, we would hope, but such an artifact, can it be made safe? Can it be undone?
When the when the noble used the 4, it brought great misery. However, they were sealed away. Destroying them was too dangerous. But it seems that if the halflings have one of them, that the 4 may have been released onto the world once more. My best suggestion, if you do manage to find the halflings and take the amulets, would be to find all of them and make sure that they never see the light of day again. I must say, please do not attempt to destroy them, for such things would wreak havoc if they were destroyed. They have been such that they are attached to the natural world. To destroy them would be akin to breaking a support in a building. They are evil, but the evil is the fact that they have been so tightly integrated.
Been embedded and woven into the very fabric of life.
It would be like, to destroy them would be like removing a tumor with a sledgehammer.
I've got a sledgehammer.
Yes, that's why I used that specific scenario, yes.
So that doesn't work?
No. Quite a bad.
That's a little note.
Yes. Please do not destroy them with a hammer.
Or any more tumours.
No.
Right. Good to know.
Yes.
Well, that... Right.
Yes. For such a small town such as this, great artifact of power to appear is quite terrifying.
I fear we may have a long road ahead of us.
Yes, perhaps.
And I'll kind of gaze out across the bar at the other 3, kind of just musing.
I'm a hero, you know.
Mm,
Hot chocolate! Ah!
see, the librarian I'm least worried about.
I've got a wine and I'm writing sherry.
Evelios is like trying to get everyone into a song about revolution. Everyone's like, no, no, no,
Right. So you don't know where the halflings are.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I've gone to ground, they have.
Right. I will reconvene with those that have stepped forward, those that have been put on the path of this worthy and righteous mission, and see what they have learnt. Thank you for your time, Wise One.
Thank you.
The community is troubled. Please do what you can to keep their feet on the path of light, rather than the path of wrath.
Yes. I shall endeavour to do so as I have always done.
Thank you.
And I will push my way back through the throng.
Yeah, of course. Hey! Oh, thank you for the beer. No!
It's a
I
hot
damn it.
chocolate, actually.
Why has it got lumps in it?
They're marshmallows. I didn't know why his voice suddenly
Those-
gone.
Those
No!
those reed
Went up
things.
an octave.
Why would you put that in a drink?
Because it's
The bar-
lovely.
The bartender shrugs as well when you're saying that, like, oh, no. Customer's always right. Even when they're wrong.
People, we should respect people's choices,
Of course.
even when it's that choice. Right.
Right.
Huddle.
So you've reconnoitered near the bar. I presume you share your information with each other.
I suppose.
It wasn't too. You're allowed to keep secret.
Wasn't if you wanted us to play it out.
Oh, sorry. My
Is
fault.
there any sherry though?
I think Renard's got a bottle for you.
I feel bad. It's not finished. I was really badly squished sherry. Not my best one.
Too many R's.
Carry away.
It's free drink day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take a sip of it and go, oh, yes. Thank you.
Oh, you do drink out of the bottle. I did think that's how it was.
Let us all give thanks for these gifts of winter mast. Look at everyone giving thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, that.
I'm agnostic.
Well, that's the thing. It's because there are so many different faiths. A colloquial term is the winter holidays. So it's kind of a generalized, like, you're probably celebrating something, even if you don't believe in anything. So we'll just roll all into, well, they don't roll all into one. It's just nobody gets holidays, of course, because
Generic festive season.
well, nobody gets holidays because the nobles are like, haha, no holidays, no.
No, back to work.
Yes. So people take what they can get.
The halflings are. They got one of them armadillo things from Anya. You know, an Onyadillo.
Dillo.
But they got a weird feet, so I think we could track them. But then I'm kind of concerned the drakes might be able to track them as well if they know they've got them.
That does sound quite trackable.
Mm.
Is anyone here
We
good at
find out I
tracking?
can talk to them.
Oh, well, that might be useful. Or you could ask the other animals if they'd seen a armadillo, where it was.
I mean,
Hey, Valerie,
on your dillo.
I'm just
Armadillo.
imagining the thing
Yeah.
from what's it called with Liam Neeson, where it's like where he goes on the phone like, I will find you and I will kill you, but it's
will
like, I
find
will
your
find them and I
armadillo.
will talk to them.
And I'm sure everyone going. We can
That's a very specific set of skills.
Right, so they've got an exotic mule.
I've got tracking.
would come to survival. Is usually how I do tracking.
Yeah. I hope someone's.
I figure if
I can always
Yeah, I've now realised like I don't imagine any of you would have taken survival as a very good stat, but that's okay.
I've got a +3
That's not too bad.
because it's wisdom related and I'm a cleric, so it's
Yeah.
mildly wise.
would it be a stagecoach in town or something? Somewhere that
Not
lots of horses, like coach house.
not really, because this place is still relatively like new, if you will, to Aris. And Anya never bothered setting something up because from where Anya's coming, you had to cross a marsh. So they never set up like an internal thing. There is a stables, but it's a more it's just for people's horses. Are you just looking for a place they would keep animals though?
In
Apologies.
case it was put there and saw it.
Yeah, you can have a look there. If you want. Yeah, there is one.
Slightly. And if Elios can ask the other horses, maybe they know something.
Yeah. I mean, they can't. Well, they can answer me, but not in any way I can understand. But I can ask. We could get one to take us there. I don't know. I'll ask.
I'm gonna say that I don't believe you can actually talk to animals. I think you might just do that.
Companions, I must impress on you the urgency and severity of our mission. We are not just trying to help two members of our community. They have fallen into the possession of a magical amulet. Holds far too much power to be held in, well, anyone's hands, really.
Sounds valuable. I mean, serious.
Certainly not theirs, and certainly not the dregs. So, we are not just doing this for goodness, we are doing this for potentially our
Aris.
very survival. And Aris. Just saying.
People
Cheers.
who are all equal. Also, is there any brandy?
You
Pretty
did.
sure.
Put
the sherry bottle.
Elf gives you a look and is like taps the table like have to pay for that.
Right.
Hobo.
I don't think we should waste much more time. We've got to leave for the big round horse thing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that one.
You can find it for anyone else to see it because I don't know. Do they tracks look?
No.
If we
Librarian.
find tracks that look like something we've never seen before, probably.
Well, that could be you. Oh, now, come on now. You could get in all kinds of trouble with that sort of thing. Librarian, Avril, I believe it was. If you finished your lumpy hot drink.
Yes.
Couple of things. Strikes me that you might have a book on animal tracks that might contain a armadillo.
Oof, well, I don't have it on me. I do remember that there was one in our library. Perhaps we should talk to the head librarian.
That sounds like a good idea. And also, I've been given to understand that this magical amulet is one of 4, and if it would be possible to research it and its brethren, that may stand us in good stead.
Oh, the head librarian knows everything.
Well, they sound useful. Right, to the library. Well,
Yeah.
do we want to split up and look for clues?
I mean,
Hugging an ascot around my neck at this point.
Go talk to the animals.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, buddy.
Oh, I'm loving this skeptic bromance going on here.
Talk with the animals, sing with the animals.
Also,
Sorry.
Renard, you know Alf the barkeep, right?
Yeah, we can look at it.
Why do the barrels have legs, but the stool doesn't have legs?
That's a Roomba.
Just seems like if we need the stool all the time, probably give it leg.
Or maybe it wanders off. Maybe that's what went wrong.
Not very lazy. Today. Guess it's trouble when you have something for you around all the time. It just never stops. Kind of thing.
You have had a
So-
couple. Sorry.
Every month, some little construct announced it to like fill a bowl, but no one told it when to stop, and it flooded the whole village.
You have been pestered by them occasionally. They'll kind of come up to you and offer you some bread and cake, a little bit insistently. And when you tell them to leave, they kind of go, and then walk off.
I am gluten intolerant.
So are you?
Olives.
So you're splitting up, yeah? If you want,
So
I
it's
don't
the
know.
safest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, with 8, very violent people just roaming the town. Yeah, I would agree.
If you run into trouble, give us some sort of signal. Screaming usually works.
Well, I imagine you'll hear a bunch of pistol shots, so run towards that.
How many?
Depends how.
Because
fast
one
I
could
can
just be
reload.
random, couldn't it?
Well, I have 2 pistols.
So
it
two,
most
then.
likely be reload, something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Intervals of 2 pistol shots.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Just do our best to not look like halflings, then don't bother us.
Noted.
Well, I'm 7'1.5", so I probably don't look like that.
Well, you've got
Rick, keep trying.
you've got a head start. There is a pause.
So shall
Okay.
we go then?
Yes.
Yeah. So
But no one
we'll-
laughs. There's just a little tremor. There's just a little traumatic tremor if no one laughs.
No, like somewhere in the background, a band is setting up, and that was the drama.
tumbleweeds, even though they don't exist here, just went bad.
Manifest and then disappear.
And Onyadillo rolls past.
Oh, there it is! Oh, well, that fixes our problems.
Found it.
Also, I love
it.
that Nye went through the effort of actually coming up with a name for it, and we were
And
like,
it's an
no,
armadillo.
Onyadillo.
It's okay. You should audience at home, you should look up glyptodons. They were a real thing that existed, and they're very cool animals. I like Anya. No, that is a
It's
real
real
thing.
thing.
They're a real.
She said like, I'm like, I can't spell that.
And I can best describe them as dome things with little legs, though they are quite big. The biggest got to be the size of like a Volkswagen, I want to say. Lived in South America before, and then there was the. I'm going to stop now because I'll just stop.
They've got like a leg of fauna that died off with like mammoths and the giant.
Yes, because South America was isolated, they got experimental and had big armadillos. Anyway, I shall stop talking paleontology because
I love that it's experimental armadillo.
So we'll go with animal-y people first. No bias there at all, naturally. So that is Renard and Evelios, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can... Yes, they are so cool. So you can just have a look on the path, like animals go through and to and fro here, so you could use your survival skills just to look.
Yeah, is there like a main entrance exit for the town?
The main, so the way the road works, there isn't really a paved bit for people to walk on and a road bit, but the center is generally accepted to be where the animals would go with people on them, and then the sides of that big kind of dirt path are where. So there's tons of tracks. Because it's cold, it's not slurry, so it's quite easy to see the marks. So if you want to roll there, you can just see if you can follow it fail. Obviously, it won't it's not like Scooby-Doo where you can just follow the footsteps to where it is, but it'll give you a direction to go in.
I got 8.
Oh, yeah.
I got 14.
Okay. So yeah, you're. So Renard is kind of doing the getting low to the ground, then going, I have no fucking clue what any of this is.
Which ones are the horses? Again?
Yeah, you're struggling there. If Alice, you do a little bit better, you can see how you would pick up the marks. They have a very noticeable splayed toe and their tail drags in places, but it's too, you're not able to pick up where it's going and coming. You're
Yeah.
seeing the tracks, but there's a lot of other tracks. And
Mess of
yeah,
horses and stuff.
exactly. Yeah, using the main road is not great, but hey, I was hoping these guys would get like a 20 or something. They'd be like, oh my god, yeah, you find the perfect path.
No, I assume the cartwheel tracks are just some sort of snake.
Yeah. There's a big snake, lots of snakes here.
Yeah, just going through.
Rectangular
Maybe,
snakes.
Maybe you should ask the people and I'll ask the animals and we'll see if we can find.
Yeah, I wonder which one of us will have more success.
So the pair of you, wow, deep cut. The pair of you make your way over to the stables. Not very big and fancy. I mean, Reynard, both of you will have seen much bigger and more kind of metropolitan, if you will, stables. But this will do. There's some young stable hands running around desperately trying to keep the place clean, and there's kind of an older gentleman, probably about middle-aged, balding, just kind of standing, looking important, and directing the younger folk around. And there are the horses. There are horses here. There are some other animals, some donkeys, some mules, a couple of large birds that people use that vaguely look like ostriches. It's a mess, but it's quite normal for this part of the world.
I'm going to let Elias go first.
All right, then. Now, to reiterate, can you just talk to animals and they can communicate to the best of their
They
ability?
can
Yep, that's that.
Understand me, but yeah, they'd have to indicate in some way. I can't understand that.
Okay, that is perfect. Okay, so, well, you can go. Are you just going up to them? Just okay.
Yeah. Sort of similar to with the dregs, I'll just stand in front of them and announce my question to them as if they're supposed to answer me. Right, yeah. Evelios has not quite got the hang of the whole equality part. It just still assumes people have to listen to him.
Oh, okay.
Now, has anyone seen an Onyadillo? Big round thing. Little short legs. Dragging a cart.
Yeah, the horses kind of go like they do that head nod.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm a horse person. I don't own one, but I've worked with horses. So I was about to start communicating a way that only a person that's worked with horses would. They start rocking their head back, which you, as a person that knows animals, knows that that's them going, oh no, I don't like that. Oh, yeah. So yeah, they are familiar with what you're discussing. So you presume it must have been here. They clearly don't like it. There's a little bit of kicking at the stable doors, but
I think they're nodding. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I'll turn towards the horses specifically then and be like, well, if you can help me find it, I'll help make sure it doesn't come back.
They do that I think again, but they don't really seem to be able to do much. Like even if they were, they're in stables, so they kind of move a bit. I'm
just going to abscond with a horse if necessary. Like,
I mean,
come on.
are you doing it stealthily, or are you just taking someone's horse?
I'm gonna wait until Renard starts talking to the people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Renard, do you want to start talking? We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll go up to the gaffer guy who looks like he's probably in charge. The older gentleman.
Yep. Yes. Hello. What is it?
I wonder if you could help. Looking for a weird creature, like a big armadillo, one that's like an onion, a glypto thingy.
Oh, yes. Came in a couple of days ago. Oh, horrible things. I don't like them. No, too strange. Don't like strange things. No, not like that. No, cavalryman myself, as you see, and you kind of are like, oh god, he's about to, because you can see in his eyes he wants to start talking about that, but he's like, anyway, right, so sorry. Right. Yes, it came through. Two halflings talking about things, worrying about things, and I had no time for them. I said I would take the beast, but I didn't know what it would eat. So I asked them, and they said it eats hay, and I was like is not what a guy like this should be saying. And I said to myself, I can get hay. I have hay for the horses, and yes. Anyway, I shall stop with my diversions. They stayed for one night. However, they left. Paid, which was fine, but they left. I don't know what it was. We were very hospitable words, and no, they didn't tell us why. They just left one night. This was about 3 days ago. Yes. Ugh.
I looked at that 3 days ago.
That they left the stables. They've not had the animal there. They've been here for about a week or so. And you would just have heard of this. Yes. I don't know whether we're keeping the animal. I mean, this is the only place in town you could, unless I do not know. I don't know. You need some place to hide it.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. No. Very common. I've been frequenting the community as I always do, so yes, I haven't seen it.
If I were to, am I looking up at Evelius? Do I see what Evelius is trying to do at this point?
Yeah, at this point, Evelis, do you want to make a stealth check to get away with this, or do you not care?
Well, I mean,
I will
also
move
just
so the guys
invisible,
me.
walk off with them.
You can't make the horse visible.
Look like the horse is going for a walk.
Yeah, no. I
oh,
just open the stable doors. I'll say to the
okay.
horse, so, do you want to come with me? I actually need a
Oh, the
good
horse very much wants to. Yeah. Oh,
had a good horse. It's
well, the horse is obliging.
Yeah. Come on, we'll go find
Okay.
this Onyadillo and we'll see to the progress.
So
How big would you say this Onyadillo's feet were? Like if I was to try and track them?
are you wanting to distract him?
Yeah, if I can see it.
Okay, well, we'll say yeah, you will. Can you give me I'm going to say persuasion, because he doesn't really have like a fast talk or anything, so we'll just go for persuasion. Or you could do performance. They're both charisma.
I could persuade him to keep looking at me.
No. Okay, you know what? I'm going to roll his perception, and if he gets higher than 10, then he ignores you and sees the guy making off. I will say for Evelios, there are like 8 stable hands all milling about, and they probably will see this. But the boss man's the one you probably want to avoid. People see it.
I'm going to write a note as well, and if one of the stable men sees me, I'll just hand them it.
No, he got 3. So yeah, he's very yes. Well, you see, during the war, we often had to identify if those onions would ride on them in cavalry formations. Very slow. Yes, but armored. Yes, exactly. And he starts going off about that kind of stuff. He's quite happy now because he can talk about the war, which he's very happy to talk about. You're not sure which war, but it was a war. As for Velios, so you've led the horse out, and about 3, young people come out. You go, whoa, what are you doing? That's not your horse. You have a horse here? Who are you? Oh, they're like 3 people saying this.
Put the note in one of their hands, pat him on the back, and then just keep walking with the horse.
But, sir, that's not...
The note says the Revolutionary Council owes you 1 horse.
No, sorry, you can't just take a horse. This is somebody else's horse.
I'll bring it back. Do you want to come? I might bring it back.
Okay. Give me a persuasion. because I don't imagine you're intimidating them.
No. Good at persuasion, 20. 17 plus 3.
Okay then. Right. So are you okay? Let me ask this question then. Are you implying that it is your horse, or are you just straight up taking it and there's no allusions to that?
Probably, like, even though I'm not affiliated with the current government in any way, I still have my Revolutionary Guard uniform on and stuff. And I've just hand them the note and say, "We'll give you a horse."
Okay.
There's like
Yeah, the horse is
So-
a shared. Well, the horse is technically free. The horse can decide for themselves whether they want to come with me or not. But
Exactly.
we will return you a horse of good standing upon the completion of my current quest.
Okay. And I will say this, they are probably likely, if not certainly, young enough that they were not born while the revolution was still ongoing. It's been about 10, 15 years. So they kind of look at you and you've put this piece of paper in the hand and you're coming off like an authority figure and the boss isn't saying anything. So, like, when in doubt, just go with it, I guess. So yeah, they're a bit confused, but it gives you the time to kind of go, okay, we're going to do. Yeah, so you've made off with the horse, Reynard. Do you leave?
Yeah,
or do you just?
once he's reaches a good stopping point in his story.
And there were these large men, and they had quite big swords. But naturally, me with my cavalry sword could easily get rid of them. There was at least 12, no, 16, definitely 16. Yeah. Are you going? Oh,
I have to leave. I've got to look for this. This unidyllic.
Oh, yes.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, you over there. And he sees, like, what are you doing? Standing, looking confused. Stop doing that. Over you. And yeah, he goes to busy with the very confused, like, I think my dad was my dad. Yeah, he was. Yeah. A long time ago. It's at least like 10 years. Okay, right. Well, exactly. I mean, it was yeah, as long ago as it was to the 80s. Callback. Anyway, we'll cut over to now to Ignatius and Avro. The two of you are at the library. It's quite quiet. Nobody's been going to the library with the recent events, but it's also getting a little bit late. Avro, you work here, so you can just pop in. There's no issue. The library is, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's definitely a lot smaller compared to, say, something that you'd find in a much larger city. It does have quite a large selection of tomes. It is especially interesting for some scholars because it has a lot of Anya texts, which are hard to come by in Aris for obvious reasons, because most countries don't like sharing all their information with each other willingly, but with the handover, they never really moved many of the tomes and records back into Onion hands. So it's there. Are you wanting to speak to the librarian, or you just want to go straight to the tracking and amulet-looking books?
All these books. It's amazing. Have you read all these?
Oh no, only about 80% or so. If you want the real information, you have to go to the head librarian.
So they know everything.
Exactly. They've
They
read
know
them
everything.
twice. some
Oh.
of them.
It just seems greedy. Don't the words wear out?
Not that we've noticed so far.
I might want to watch that.
So you find the librarian, as you know, he always is, stooped over, a very like a really big book, like the kind of books that are very impractical for moving, and he's just going and flips over one of these big pages and then starts going down the line again. You would know this as the actual library's ledger, where it keeps all of the books that it has and that are coming in and out. And again, and that's mostly what he's doing until you come up to him and get his attention. Yeah, yes, who, what? Oh, Avro! Avro, hello, yes, good to see you.
Hello.
Are you... Oh, sorry.
I have a question for you.
Oh, I do like questions. Yes, give me a question, please.
Yeah, I'm actually on a bit of an adventure.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a hero of
No.
everything. You
Is
should
it-
ask
is
the
it a-
people down at the pub.
Oh, well, I'll have to go down there. It's been quite a while since I've been down there. Is this about the people with the sticks? Quite angry.
Yes. Turns out they were looking for 4 amulets.
Oh, is that what they were on about? Oh, very annoying chaps and chapettes and all the like. Just coming in here, being all grumpy, going, oh, you tell us about the books. And I was just like, how? It was very rude. Do you know what they did to one of the books? I cannot believe this. The height of rudeness. They folded one of the pages to keep a place. We have bookmarks lying around. Oh,
Could we
gets me.
see the book?
Oh yes, no, I was trying to restore it. It was horrible. Yes. Kind of rummages around and pulls out a book. Quite small. It has gold inlay, and when he places it down, you see that the title is simply Seasons. But that's all it says on it. It looks quite old, but not. We're not talking like if you touch it, it'll turn to dust. Old, but definitely, and not well thumbed. Like when you open the pages, they still have that kind of like. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we all read books here. Like when you open them, even if it's an older book, like when it has that kind of newness to it, that it's not been touched very often. So yeah, he opens it and he does show you the page. It is a random page, like it's literally like halfway through the book. You presume that they literally just went and like opened it randomly to read it, rather than like somebody making a careful decision about where it was. But I don't know why they would want this. This is, I mean, all books are equal, but this is, well, rubbish. It's all about the seasons, and there's a romance in there. It's very boring. I'm not sure what genre it is. I honestly, we only keep it around because it's old, and old books must be useful. But I've read this at least 6 times, and I'm telling you, it's just drivel, honestly. But this is what they were after. They kept on banging on about the book, and I gave it to them. But as soon as they folded that corner, that's when the line was crossed. They were ousted from the library. All 3 of them. Can't imagine 3 hooligans like that roaming around.
Show more respect.
Exactly. I like this young chap right here. Who's this, Avro?
That's Ignatius Lightbringer. He's a friend of mine.
Yes.
I've sort of taken him under my wing.
They have shown me much that was previously hidden, and I believe their feet are on a path of worthiness.
Yes, of course.
If I may be so bold, I have been graced with the ability to mend things that have been distressed.
Would you perhaps, if you be so bold?
May I heal your book?
Yes, please do.
You can set it on fire.
No, I will cast mending.
Okay, well, the corner that, he's been trying to write instantly just goes boop, and even this seam that was created instantly disappears. Thank you. That puts an old librarian's heart at ease. Would you like to use the book? Are you? Avril, I know all books. You have a wide selection of genres to like, but I must say this is not worth your time. But
If you
yes,
would entrust us with the book, I believe we have been led here and that this is the right next step.
I've got a library card.
oh well, yes, of course. Thank you. God, amount of times I've been to a library when I take a book out and forgot the bloody library card. he's very happy with that. Yes, thank you. Okay, right. Well, yes, was
As long
in the
as you don't
process.
already have too many books on your card.
Well, yeah, but special librarian privileges, once it gets into the four
Infinite books,
digits,
yeah.
I wave it off.
I'll return my copies of the dictionary.
Yeah, all of them. In each language as well.
Only volume A through Y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep some of the middle letters, they're the most useful.
Exactly.
Head librarian, you have shown me another life path. Thank you for that experience. It is not always to see which way is the right way for folk. I would advise some more sunshine and maybe a modicum of physical activity, though.
What are you talking about? I got up.
He did.
I'm up right now.
You are standing now. That is good, because chairs will kill you.
Oh. Kind of looks at his, just like, nice fluff chair.
Be surprisingly dangerous.
Kind of lightly kicks it. Well, thank you for the advice.
Are you a mimic?
Yeah, stab everything with a spear before you sit on it.
Ah, right. Well, this is a nice chair, so I won't be doing that. But thank you for the advice. It's always good to get advice from folks. Would you like to peruse the book that you have been given, Seasons? If you roll history, you can.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to the librarian.
Yeah, it's probably wise. I can't use history as my default knowledge stat. Probably should say that.
No, that's fine.
Because they don't have a lot of knowledge.
Can I ask the head librarian if they have anything on Solas?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yes. Just down there to the left, and you shall find the religious texts. We have not all, but most of the big ones.
All three
ones. Oh no, there's a lot more than 3. when all the people found out that this world doesn't really have any solidified religious beliefs, they were like, oh, we need to go there now.
We can make some. Oh, also, do you have any books on exotic animals?
Yes. Down there, down the stairs, up the stairs, left, down, right. It's gobbledygook. Yeah, I just did that for effect. Yeah, it's there.
Get lost. Are there other librarians who can help me?
I'm quite quick, so if you just shout, I'll make it my way over to you.
I can shout very loud.
Excellent. I will know right away.
Don't shout in the library.
Our head librarian just said I can do a Tormatity shout. That's happening.
Yeah.
All the books shatter.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a lot of mending.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe shout quietly.
Also, would an Onya Dillo be an exotic animal in Onya?
Potentially. I mean, yeah, potentially. So, what did you get, Avril, for your history check?
Natural 20.
Oh my god. Okay, well then. Right. So, where to begin? Okay, so you are familiar with this book. The author is not known. For whatever reason, it's not. They don't have an author page or anything really. But I mean, it's a rough one. They don't have it here, but it's about as close to fan fiction as you can get. I mean, there's a self-insert character. There's lots of spelling errors. It's awful. But what initially draws your interest is they keep talking about these 4 amulets. And it's strange because before, whenever you'd passed a book like this, you were like, "Oh shit, sorry." Whenever you'd passed this book before, you had ignored it because you were like, "No, this doesn't. This is just gibberish." But now, with the knowledge that there are these 4 amulets, you start to piece things together. So, and Natural 20 is perfect because most of it is gibberish, like it's very incongruous, but you're able to piece together with your super librarian skills. So it seems that this author was privy to the knowledge of their creation. They use a lot of like really big words, but basically it seems that a powerful mage bound the parts of the seasons to these amulets. And by wearing and casting through them, one can kind of bend nature to its whim. Each of the amulets has its own thing. You find the part about winter, and it seems that one can prevent the changing of the weather so that it would stay warm all year round by just kind of bending winter out of place. Or you could bring across a cataclysmic winter storm. And actually, and this is a part that really piques your interest with that natural 20, the book supposes that the Great Winter, which was an event that occurred about 20 years ago, that actually kind of helped instigate the revolution due to the famine, due to the existing famine being exacerbated by it, linked it. And as you read the book more, it's basically claiming that a lot of the natural disasters that have happened in the last century or so were caused by the amulet's usage. Great fires that ravaged villages, the plague that swept across, killing many of the crops and people. It makes these claims. Now, obviously, you as a scholar would read this with its spelling mistakes and weird, like, characters that are thrown in for no reason and assume this is just hearsay. But what if it's not? What if it's very much somebody trying to tell the truth? Because you'd never heard of these amulets before. Who is to say? And I think we'll end it there because I think that's a nice place to end. We'll have to see. Will they find the halflings who wrote this terrible book? But yes, thank you for watching, listening, however you were experiencing this. It's a lot of fun. I love these characters and the players and everything about this. And I hope you love them as well. If you subscribe and like and do all those lovely things, then you'll be able to find out when these things are out, and that'd be super great. But if you don't want to, that's okay. There's no pressure. And if you look in the description, we have things there that would also be nice if you clicked on. But again, there is no pressure. And I hope that you have a wonderful week wherever
you're allowed
you
to
are.
actually promote things.
I know, but I feel guilty.
Don't worry. Well, you don't need to feel guilty.
There's a bit of pressure.
all.
Before we go, is there anything anyone wants to promote? Well, Leon has a rather interesting and fantastically fun ghost hunting RPG on his itch.io page, which will be in the links below.
That's free to download because it's still like playtest mode.
Yeah. And I can attest to how fun it is, having played it.
Yes, it was very much fun playtest.
Would be fun. Yay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Nye?
My Linktree's there. If you like the stuff here, then I have more stuff. I don't know. It's all right. I'm not too worried if people see my stuff. It's okay.
No, I have a very interesting history podcast.
And my wife told me I have to promote world peace as well. So
yes, please. If you can subscribe to World Peace, that would be lovely.
If you could like it and leave a comment as well, that would be really good.
To be honest, if you don't subscribe to the channel, please do subscribe to World Peace. That would probably
that one. Yeah, we'd prefer if people did that. Yeah. Okay,
But
It's
they-
available wherever you find your peace.
exactly.
pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Don't make a
I-
sense and Ray Winston.
That's
You
the
need to.
kind of peace.
Exactly.
Have you made your peace?
Oh. Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, yeah. So thank you. Well, I'll let you close the night.
okay. No, it's alright. It's fine.
We play the theme music.
Yeah. We all now have to imagine. Everyone does their own interpretation of what they think the theme music is.
To be honest, I don't know why I'm doing that. I know what it sounds like.
But yeah, we're just goodbye, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week and nice stuff like that.
Yay.
Bye.
Nice stuff.
Bye.